All right, so what's going on, guys? We are here in my office. Before we look at the house, I'm going to give you guys a look on how we got this house and why this house was a lot more harder to get than the Redlands house. So we'll start with Redlands. This is Riverside, all right? So Redlands was a probate property. So what does probate mean? It means that the owner passed away. In this case, he left it to his son. So he left it to his son. Owner passed away. He left it to his son, Bill. And yeah, his name was actually Bill. So he left it to Bill. Bill owned the property for 2 years. The house was vacant for 2 years. It was really thrashed. It needed a lot of updating. So Bill finally decided to sell the property, right? So so we contacted Bill, and Bill wanted $300,000 for the house. So he wants $300,000. So we went back to the drawing board, we looked at our numbers, and we evaluated the property. So we told Bill that his offer is fine. We will pay $300,000 for the house, right? So we are gonna pay $300,000 for this house. A week later, Bill comes to us and says that another company offered $310,000. So the only way you guys could buy is if you offer more. So we offered Bill $315,000, and that was the final price for the property. We told him if someone else offers you more, sell it to them. That's our final price, right? So final price $315,000. So $315,000, right? 2 weeks later, we closed. It's ours. We purchased it from Bill. So by the way, Bill lived in Oregon, so that's probably a reason why he wanted to sell the house, because he lives so far. So $315,000 is what we bought the house, right? So purchase price. So this is the purchase price, $315,000. This house needed $40,000 worth of work, right? So now we're in the house, $355,000. So about 2 months later, we fix it up. Everything's beautiful. We have a couple open houses, and we find a buyer about 3 months later. This one took a while to sell, but 3 months later, we found a buyer at 400. We wanted 470 for the property. We put in the market 470. They came in with a $450,000 offer. Right? So 450 grand. So we got the house for $315, 40 grand into it, sold it for $450,000, right? So that is about let's just say $100,000 profit, right? So this was Redlands. So this is the profit. Right, so this is Redlands. So now we're gonna go to Riverside, right? So Riverside was a foreclosure. So what is the difference? So foreclosure means that the previous owners stopped making the payments. So stopped making the payments, the bank came in, foreclosed on the property, and left it a huge mess, right? So we had to come in, instead of negotiate. So on Redlands, we negotiated a price with the owner, right? So we got it at $315. The Riverside house, we have to negotiate a price with the bank, and the bank is a lot tougher to negotiate with. So that is why it took us about 6 months to get the house. So we came in and we offered the bank, we offered the bank $150,000 for this house. Right? 150 grand. And the bank came back, said no, we don't want $150,000. So we upped our price. I mean, the first price that we offered the bank was kind of ridiculous, but you never know, right? So we offered them $150,000. We came up with another price at 240 grand. Right? and the bank accepted. So we are in the property 240,000, right? So this is the purchase price, 240,000. Now, going into the property, we find more things such as IRS liens. So what's an IRS lien? So IRS lien is pretty much if you own any property and you don't pay the IRS will come and put a lien on your property until they get their money, pretty much. So you don't want to mess around with the IRS. We all know that. So the IRS has a $20,000 lien on this house. So we got it for 240. This lien now makes the house 260 grand, right? So how do we get this lien off? Very simple. So in this case, even though the bank foreclosed, we were still in contact with the owner. So what we did is we contacted the owner. The owner was very cooperative. So they came down, we researched it, and we found out that there was paperwork stating that the owner, so the previous owner, paid this lien already, right? So they paid this 20 grand. So after a month goes by, we submitted the paperwork to the IRS. We proved to them that that lien was already paid for them to take it off, and they had to take it off, right? So this IRS 20 grand canceled. So now we are in the property free and clear, $240,000. This property will cost us $24,000 to fix up. That's including everything brand new, kitchen, tile, bathroom, cabinets, paint, everything. Labor. So we're in it 24 grand. So the total price is $264,000. Right? So this is what we're in the property. So this is our price right here. 264 grand. Now, we obviously haven't sold it yet. We're still working on it, but a house down the street sold for it was a little bit bigger than ours, but it sold for $380,000. And this was a 2-story house, so it was a lot bigger. I think it was like 2,100 square feet. So we're probably gonna ask 350 grand for our house. And we paid 260 for it. We paid 240, we're in at 264 grand. So we're gonna ask $350,000 for this house, right? Asking price. So we'll put asking price. So this is the asking price, $350,000. So 350,000 minus 264, I'll let you guys do the math. That's still a very good profit. So the reason why this house was a lot more complicated is because of this IRS lien. So most people that buy properties, they don't know how to deal with this. So they'll end up paying they'll end up paying 260 grand for the house, putting another $24,000 into it. So they'll be in it $284,000 because of this IRS lien that we demolished and took care of. So that is the tip of the day. That's the breakdown of the house. This house was pretty much like a breeze in the park. This house took us six months to do, but clearly the 6 months is well worth it because the profit is a very good profit. All right, guys. So we're gonna head to the house. I'll see you guys there. We'll take a tour on what's been going down.